Today we are going to go over the Detour multi-layered bunker base made for small groups and duos. I guess some big boy chads can also build this base, but this is unique because it has crazy amounts of protection, both top down and on the sides. One of the main features of this base is the bunker mechanism down the main chute. So once we attach ourselves back here and jump up, you can see the main entrance here. You've got a ladder hatch here, and then you've got the bunker opening. And it's multi-stacked here all the way down to the core. And then you can pop this open by spawning on the interior on your sleeping bags and then knocking out the twig here, and it's going to knock out both, and I mean both, of the roof tiles to bring it all the way back up. So you've got insane amounts of protection. You've got plenty of room for a small group. You've got ramps to help protect the outer walls. You can upgrade them as you see fit. You have plenty of areas here to process your materials. Wood, coal, metal, other furnaces, and then the main TCs in the back corner here. Completely locked off with a window frame. And if you look at, actually we should probably bring it up here. Here's the upkeep. 2,247 metal fragments, 5,599 stone, 352 wood, and 8 high quality. And you can actually knock that down to no high quality if you want to. I just wanted to put up the example of having a part of the bunker being two different types of materials, both metal and high quality. So you have enough room to actually put 2 days of upkeep in the TC with some extra room. Kind of nice. So this is really crazy because, let me go ahead and break off here and show you the top down, and then we'll start building this bad boy. Here's the cutaway of the base. This is the main chute that we just went down. And so if you look on the back here, you have these multi-layered roof tiles, the bunker tiles coming down for the stability bunker, creating an insane amount of protection. And then over here you can see the layers are actually coming through the different types of honeycomb we have here that go downstairs. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. So once we take this out here, let me just show you. Zip in here. So this main triangle represents the main chute, and you can see when it's open you still have a ton of protection. Let me show you the cutaway in the back here. But then when it's sealed, it's absolutely just next level. I think we counted with 6 layers, I believe, for this. And then it's real easy to actually attach back. It will attach the roof tile here and then make sure it's facing that direction. Leave this twig. We'll go over here. I'll make this triangle piece and flick it over. This is something we've been cooking for a long time. And oops, I did the opposite way. That's what it needs to be. So this one can be metal. You can see how it just created this giant bowl right here. And then you can do the same thing on this side, and it can be a completely different material. In this case, it's going to be high quality. And now you've got this insane overlap of both metal and high quality right here. Look at this. And you have the sandwich that goes all the way vertically down into your core. So yeah, as I said, this is something we've been cooking for a hot second. I think even before Rust Console Edition came out, but this is something more recently we've worked out here on our test server, and I think we've got a good build here, and it's the Detour. So let's go ahead and show you a few more features, and then we'll do the build out here. So we've got your main entrance here, so you can do your peaks here. You've got a single pass-through doorway. You've got a ladder here for your jump up. You've got these nice fenced doorways where if this is shut, nobody can attack you from the outside here because there's 2 fences between you and them. But you can shoot down at people trying to door camp you because there's nothing obstructing you right here. So it creates this nice force field effect, as it were, so you can still shoot down and even drop out if you really need to. This top layer here is actually made of, these roof tiles are made of wood. You can upgrade them if you'd like. See, I'll go over here. But you can put other amenities up here if you'd like to, but this is mostly to keep the cost down. You can put another bag up here. You've got a mixing table, thanks to our chat. And then once it's open, you can kind of just work your way down here. You've got extra storage between the layers. And as we said before, you can also cook here with the furnaces. You got processing here in the floor if you have enough room to actually elevate your foundations. Got your level 3 sleeping bags, 1 here, 2 here. And then you have your loot compartments here also acting as protection for the base itself. And then back here by the tool cupboard, you have another loot area, and then you've got the tool cupboard in the back. Outside, you have honeycomb for everything, especially on the bunker side. But more importantly, it hides the fact that you have elevated foundations. And see right here, they're very flush with the ground. So that is the Detour. Let's go ahead and start building this bad boy. We're going to try to show you the floor plans and try to get through this as quickly as possible. You can do this in modular chunks, but we're going to try to really speed through this on this one because it might take a second. Okay, so this is going to be a stop sign, as it were. So a hexagon. So the best way to start this would be to find flat ground for sure. So this is pretty good. So we'll keep it right about here. And then we've got, oops, nope, I'm sorry. We'll elevate this side, and then this one will be sunken down. And actually we'll get rid of this one here. That's going to be where the furnaces are going to sit. I'll show, we'll pull back here in a second. The furnaces being higher, actually a nice feature. But if you don't like it, you don't have to do it that way. You just will have to take out your furnaces that sit inside of here. These can all be stone. And if we pull way back here, you can start to see what it looks like. Let me go ahead and bring the overlay up. Oops. There we go. So you can see what this looks like. We're going to keep everything in the same direction, so southwest. So everything's elevated except the part of the hexagon that's at the very top middle. Okay, so once you have this formation here, you're going to place a wall here and here, stone it up. I'm going to upgrade this to metal. I think we're going to do a lot of the upgrades as we go because it's just going to make things faster. Upgrade, as you can see, you've got the materials for it. It just makes things a bit easier for you to survive, actually. So, okay, so when I place this, I actually put it in a little bit and then strafed over to the right. It makes it a bit easier to grab when you've got your window frame in place. You're going to have this hard side facing you. We'll leave it stone for now. We can cap this off, and I'll just do like a little preview as to how we would have this if you wanted to make sure you had a little bit of protection. So put this here, and then I know you would probably have a swing door on this, but we're just going to put a roller boy here for now. Then we'll lock it. So it kind of gives you a nice way to throw things in here when you first get started. So let me stand up here so you guys can see what this looks like. It can help you get started by having this small area here. So the bottom of the hexagon can be your starter, more or less. Okay, on to the next pieces. Now, the real BPs that you need for this to make this work is going to be the ladder, and you can push through the research on the level 1 workbench, and that'll help you out. Okay, so once you have this here, then you're going to place these tiles up here, and these are going to be your loot rooms on the side. Again, we'll try to stay in the same position. I'll pull back again so you guys can see what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the TC cabinet to metal so you guys can orient yourselves. Look at the top tile. And you probably should upgrade it as soon as you have a chance to anyways. Okay, so again, we're going to kind of power through a lot of this. This next part here, I want to make sure you have enough stone to finish this whole outer wall. And then you'll be using like the ladder to kind of jump out, and then use twig on the outside to kind of jump back in. It leaves you a little bit vulnerable, but for the most part, you can kind of power through a lot of this, especially if you have a ladder already. Once you do get furnaces, you can start to place them here whenever you do have them. Let's go ahead and get these loot rooms kind of situated here. Again, to get everything good, it's good to start your ramps now, and then get low to the right, and then look up to do the lower one first. Do a shelf. And then knock this out. Make sure that that's stone. And then make that... well, actually, you should make the floor tile metal, at least. At some point, you should upgrade that. You don't have to do that initially, but eventually it will be. And then this will be stone. Again, I'm going to do these upgrades as we go. Just assume that most of this is going to be stone to start. Oh, come on, please. It's so annoying when it does. There it goes. So you start with stone with this, and then you upgrade it to metal. The back walls here are going to be metal. This is going to be metal when you can afford it. This tile, and this back piece. And again, once you start to upgrade even further, you can start to do high quality. But again, only when you can commit not only the resources to upgrade, but the upkeep itself, because it'll be costly. Another ramp here. I just like to get the ramps in position as quickly as possible because they're so, you know how they are. You got it's an order of operations to place these bad boys. All right, we'll get that one upgraded, and I'll put the whoopsie. And you can technically stick a frame right there too. So let me pull back again so you guys can see what this looks like. Pretty self-explanatory. PC cabinets, that lower triangle on the left, and then these 2 squares to my left and right of my character are going to be main loot rooms. As we head over in the other position, or our sample area, when you can upgrade, this is what the inner core is going to look like as far as the upgrades. Your floor and your outer walls are going to be high quality, but again, keep it metal until you can afford something like this. But for the most part, that's all you really need a high quality, because that's going to be the weakest spot. You really don't need a high quality of these if you don't need to, because you literally have 6 layers when everything's locked up. Trying to keep the cost down. Okay, so the next piece here, we're going to, you can stick your, I don't think we have it up here. We'll just put the level 3 up, even though you're going to start with 1, obviously. Don't forget to put your sleeping bags down here as well. Then we'll have the small box under the cabinet. I just threw it like a smart guy. And then again, to do these bottom rooms, before you place that workbench, you would place these first knobs facing in and then push it back. Actually, let me do this. I know these are so fickle, but I figure it's important to get these up first. Bring that back down. Okay, let's get these boxes in right quick. Actually, I should do the top one first, because that's how it works with these ramps. They're so annoying. By the way, if these ever get knocked out and you can't replace that back wall, you can place half walls from the exterior and stack them in those pieces. I know it's not ideal, but at least you can patch the hole. Just putting that out there. Little tip that we've come across over the wipes. Yeah, you want to place this before the workbench. I always get that backwards. And then you can place slider doors. In this case, we're going to put the upgraded version of stuff right here. And then we'll make this metal as well. And then this is where you're going to have the bunker mechanism. Whoop. Let me pull back again so you guys can see what's going on. Where the furnaces are going to be the main chute where you come down. So the bunker is going to be above us. Again, we're going to be building the second floor, more or less. This whole layer here where you see all these different the ramp tiles. And then it's fairly open in here where the bunker mechanism is. So essentially we're going to be building out to this. Okay. And again, because you just saw in the loot rooms, the ramps are quite fickle, so you want to get these situated. If you're unsure about them, get them in as twig first. This is the way I like to do it. I like to start like this, and I like to have the ramps facing outward for this way, or for this position. And again, you're going to place a ladder up here. Kind of like use that to traverse for a while. Or you could just use twig for the time being, because you don't have your main chute yet. If you wanted to, that's how you would do it. All right, so we almost had it. Do we need to knock this off? See, I've already done this a million times, and this is still quite fickle, even for me. This can be stone. Yeah, so since we're doing multi-layers of this... Oh, I know why. It's because we put the boxes in like a dummy. Well, there you go. That's why you got to test the ramps first. I was like, man, that should be totally working. Well, just know, if you're having troubles, you can move the boxes. I'm just going to delete them for here. All right, going up to the top. All right, I can place a ramp like this. I like to place them towards, in this case, and then I'll build up this wall here, soft side towards me, and then we'll place this here, and then we'll place the other ramp here, and I'll have this way because this will be an extra loot room you can do on the way down. If you don't like it, you can always seal this one off if you want to. But you don't have to. I like to have the extra storage because I'm a loot sloop. And then over here, we can place another wall and then a ramp. Oops. Be like that. And then what you can do is from the exterior, you'll place a full wall here. And then you can start working up these little side pieces to make the shelf for the interior. Oh my goodness. There we go. Just like this. And then you're going to knock out these guys. Oops. And then make sure you're upgrading all the stuff. As soon as you can afford, at least put the ones above your main loot area as metal ramps. And then you can always do those first. That'll cost you about 600. And then come back and make these metal here when you can afford it, because these are the most important ones here. And then if you can't afford it, you can always go stone with these. Stone on the middle layer, and then you can place another ramp up here. I like to do it diagonal. You can make that stone too, or metal. It's entirely up to you. This one I like to go a little beef on, so this will be metal. That back piece will also be metal, just because it's kind of a point of softness, maybe for the build, I guess. And then if you can afford that, make that metal. So that's the most important piece to kind of stack up, because if somebody steals a rocket in there, you want it to be able to absorb damage, essentially. So then here you're going to finish these off. Again, I like this one rotated. You can see why you really want to get these set up first in Twig, because they're awfully fickle. And if you're on top of your base with a bunch of supplies, you got to be extra careful. So you could put up some of these pieces here on the side to kind of help you not get your wig split. And then from here, we're going to pick this up, get rid of it. So what we can do on this side is we can now place this, whoops, we can place that right there. That could be stone to start. You can come back and upgrade that later. This can also be stone. We can place this here, and these outer pieces. And then we pull back so you guys, again, can see what's going on. So essentially we just made that sandwich, that honeycomb layer, vertically above our main loot area. Kind of see it's this whole stack up in here. Okay, now for this next piece, this is where the twig's going to reside for the roof bunker. And at this point, you might as well test this. You can rotate your triangle roof tile here, and then place this here. And if it completes the top section, you did it right. If we do one here, you can kind of just get a feel for it. And then you can jump up here to really look at it to make sure that you've got it right. And then I'll pull back so you can see that as well. It's creating a giant W. So I would recommend you keep these triangle pieces twig for a while, just because it's going to be a little goofy, as you may misplace something and you may need to undo it. Okay, so the next part we have here is we need to build up the layers in between here and make the chute itself. So we're going to create the floor tile up here. And again, you can use this ramp to kind of walk up. You're going to cap off all these different pieces here. Again, start with stone, but I'm upgrading to metal because I'm crazy. And same with down here. We're gonna make this metal. This not metal. We're gonna make that metal. Make that metal. That does not need to be metal. Let's get to these upgrades real fast. Sorry. This is going to be a loot room too, by the way. This can technically be wood. This is where you're going to throw a bunch of boxes and such. Again, making sure that TC is real close to that side so people can reach in. I'm not using a code lock just because it's much faster for me to do this. You get the idea. You know what's up. Okay, so these are metal on the back side. My goodness. I would also make those metal when you can afford it. You can reach in and get those in most cases. Here I'm going to put a piece of twig and then another half wall up here. And I might as well stick this triangle piece here. So here's where the extra boxes are going to go. So here I would beat this up to metal, and then if you'd like to have an extra compartment, you can place these boxes here. If not, you can just seal it up with a complete wall. That's entirely up to you. You can place 2 of these frames inside of here, and the bunker will still work. This will have to either be metal, wood, or high quality, but not stone. We'll just make this... well, you know what? Let's make this stone, because it doesn't have to be metal. This top one doesn't. The only reason why that bottom piece has to be this material is because of the way the bunker is going to wrap around it. Okay, so We got these back pieces here. These also need to be metal when you can afford it. And then here is just going to be more honeycomb. You're kind of building off of your main loot room in your TC area. Just kind of fill all of that in. Yeah, you want to upgrade these to metal on the interior, but the outside doesn't have to be. And then right here is just another empty spot for more honeycomb. Pull back so you guys can see that. And you can see where the mechanism's happening. You're not putting a lot of stuff inside of there. And then again, you can test to make sure that this works correctly by just jumping down into the pit here and then hitting, oops, would help if I had the right thing up. Roof triangle and then rotate. And you see how it's automatically completing up here. So again, I would have another ladder just kind of chilling back here to like use as you see fit to like get up, or even like a furnace or something. Okay, so once we have all this in place here, this back honeycomb you can seal up. Just make sure that these tiles over there are metal on the interior. I think we make these metal too, but we'll come back to those. Okay, so like right here, I like to add a lot of extra protection. So that off that metal piece we have down here, you can place a triangle there. You can place a triangle back there as well. And then you can start to create honeycomb with half walls. And make sure it's facing like as people would break in. So this main chute, you want to make sure it's hard side in the chute, because if somebody gets in and starts lobbing rockets, you don't want them to be able to pick it out or... Again, these will all start with stone. For the most part, you can jump up and upgrade a lot of these from the interior. You can kind of reach up. You can hit this wall from down here. You can hit this back wall. You can hit this wall. So, and even in this main chute, like these can all be stone to start. And even those can be upgraded. Okay, so then what you want to do is place these tiles on top like this. And then lock them up like that. And then for the most part, you can put your door up here, and then your side piece, like this. I like to make the top of this metal as well. The side can be stone. Just keeps people from popping it. And then you can put yourself a metal door right there. No big deal. If you don't have the triangle ladder hatch, don't worry. You can just use a ladder for the interim. But if you do have it, now is the time to place it. And save that ladder because you're going to use it somewhere else. So as long as it sticks up here like that, you can attach. Just all the way down. Put it back up. Again, I like to leave these twig because we're going to build up some of the, what is it? The honeycomb outside. And if you have these placed beforehand, see how these stick outside? You'll have a hard time placing some of the honeycomb over this. So another reason why you keep a twig. Just keep practicing with it. You can always use Builder's Paradise. So just make sure this still works and we didn't break anything. Looks like it completed up here. Yep. And then we'll try the other side. Come over here. Place that. It should also complete it. All right, so let's go ahead and get the jump up going in the outside jump up. So all of these triangles out here are going to be places where we have honeycomb. And it's going to cost you a pretty penny to get a lot of this. And since we have an elevated foundation, this will help hide a lot of that. So again, it's this one side where the bunker angle or the roof tile is coming through. You want to make sure we have that sorted out. So we'll start with that one. But let's place all these, and then I'll pull back so you guys can see what the shape looks like. Almost calculate like 2K for each of these like triangles. So that's why you want to really start, you know what I mean? Let me get in the same position and pull way back so you guys can see what's going on. Bingo. And time to take a drink. Delicious. Okay, let's get our jump up out of the way, shall we? So this main area here is going to be, I believe, is this how we did it over here? Yeah, we just did it off the side. Because you still want this to be protected, because this is your interior of your base. Like, this is where the not the tool cupboard, the workbench, geez. So this can be stone, sure. Probably create scaffolding outside or bring a ladder with you if you really want to. I would get this one built first because this is going to be your jump up, more or less. I'm going to try to do this less contextually and try to like pull back and start speeding it up because this will take a minute. Yeah, each of these would be about 900 for each level, so you're looking at 1800 for each of these just for raw materials as far as if it's stone, ballparking it. So, you know, 2,000 per protection patch. That should be good right there. And a lot of times you can stick a ladder on the outside and you can kind of get it up and down that way. I know it makes you vulnerable, so if you want to make a different variation on that, be my guest. Right here, I like to stick a piece of wood there, and then you can even place some furnaces out here in the stack and the 3 once you get this all. We create an airlock, so let me just, instead of talking about it, let me make it. So this can be, oh, I think this can be wood. Maybe this can all be wood, who knows. Here's a doorway. These are going to be stone, and out here, I do like to make those. This is Razor's airlock he likes to use. Honestly, those can just be wood out here on the exterior. These can be stone. Everything on the top is going to be stone. But I like the wood because it creates that extra layer of like, it keeps them off your back. But then there's like a wooden door and people are like, I don't know if I want to spend the money to break that door. So you have the wooden doors open inward. Have this one open inward. If you can't afford the, what are these, the shop fronts, that's okay. I would back up and then just fill in your metal doors first. It just gives you a little bit of protection so you're not getting your cheeks clapped all the time when you're trying to climb up. And then once you do get these bad boys, you can put them in there. If you have a fence, you can put that in there too. Just know that the door fences are the ones that can be taken off the hinge. Once you place these shop fronts, it's over. Make sure that upper lip is on the interior, not the outside, because yes, people can climb on that. So if you look at the left of the frame or the right of the frame, that's what determines what rotates it. If you have enough for that, that's great. If not, just wait for it to fill it in. And then I like to have this here. And that way we can kind of like jump up. Whoops, didn't know I was flying. My bad. Let's, we can jump like this. And then we're upstairs. So now we can create a door frame here. Wall frame, rather. Another wall frame. And then I think we had another wall frame out here, if I'm not mistaken. I think I put a door over here. Did I put a door over there? I did. These are those wacky fence frame thingies. And then right here, let's go ahead and just start this so we've got a place to be protected. We can place a wall here and a wall here. And then we can pretty much just go around with roof tiles. We'll start with the triangle roof tiles first, like this. Pop. Just so we're somewhat protected so we can enter. And then I like to make this wood because it's cheap and I'm cheap. What's up? Wow, we might have to open up the bunker. Hold on. And another reason to make your roof tiles wood here is because I think you'd have to make a scaffold out here. Yep, you would. Is because if you want to make the expansion later, you totally can. So this is wood, these are stone. And what you're going to do on the interior when you can afford it, you could just make these stone. They don't have to be anything super crazy. Soft side facing you. Just adds an extra layer of annoying raid for somebody trying to hit directly on the chute. That's what she said. And then I guess you could do this and then place your roof tile like this. Whoops. You'd have to do it one more time. Jade, what you doing, scrub? There we go. These can be wood, that can be stone, and that can be stone. I'm a big fan of waiting for the upgrades, you know? Alright, let's get this top piece done so at least we have some protection. What's cool about this upper lip here is you can make this a swing double door of anything. It can be a metal door, it can be a wooden door if you're cheap. And it's going to be enough to keep people off your back. Then most of this is going to be, you can leave this open like so and just put a top on it. That way you can create a jump up to the roof if you want to later. I would, if you're having a hard time filling these, you don't have these fences yet, you can just make wooden double doors to plug these up for now. But these are super nice. Here's how you place it. Actually, let me pull back so you guys can see what this looks like. Hopefully this is making sense. I just don't want this to be terribly long. Oh yeah, we gotta finish the other honeycomb first. Now I'll show you how to do that jump up portion. Let me pull back so you can see the outside too. This is the main entrance. Where the twig is at the bottom is going to be where the honeycomb's going to be laid out. And I'll show you the critical ones we need to do first, which are going to be this whole vertical wall and then the other side. I guess we should probably make these foundations metal, huh? Considering they're on the interior. And remember, this is like where your main core is, so if you wanted to upgrade it, you should at least have a metal at some point. So, okay, so the critical stuff. Let's hit this one first. So I don't think it's going to let us do this if we have the roof tile sticking out. Let's see. Or I think we remedied this with, well, either way. Yep, that's why. So you see how like it's not letting me place that? This is another reason why you keep this twig, because now you can at least knock it out. You're not an admin, so you're going to have to knock it out the normal way. That's why you leave them twig, boys. But it's nice to have the twig hanging out so you know where to upgrade. So right here, you're going to place this. Then you're going to half wall this bad boy all the way up. Stone it, stone it, stone it. Just kidding. Stone it. And then cap it. It's just, we worked it out. It seems to be a little bit better this way. And that's going to be where your main mechanism is going to be for the bunker. And then the other one's over here. We metaled up that side wall so we know what it is. And then we're going to make this, let's just do it like this. Boop. Where you at, B? You not going to let me stick out? Fine. How about now? Okay. How about now? There we go. But for the most part, you should have some protection to work off of while you're doing this for the interior. I know like your bunker's not functional yet, but you know you shouldn't be signing out yet. And there's everything all upgraded, yes. And then you have this top half lip, and I know it's goofy, but it just helps protect the main mechanism. And hopefully throws people off. These half walls are up high enough where it should be confusing people. So this is what that side piece looks like. The front of the base is in the southwest, just on the opposite side. We're looking at the TC box down here. And these columns are for the main mechanism. So if we enter the base up here, this is the main chute. Should be wide open all the way down. And these columns on the side here are where you're going to place those roof tiles. So you're going to place a triangular roof tile by rotating it there. You can place that, and now you can make this stone, just to start. Then you need to test it to make sure nothing's blocking anything, and because you need to do it fast, because if it cements on you, you're in trouble. Okay, close that, and then make sure that we can place these. Then you can go to the triangle roof tile, and then rotate, and set this one to stone. Same thing over here. You can always jump up and hit it. Just make sure you're not hitting the triangle in the middle. And then if we detach and look at this, just pull it back, you can see that under this twig, if we go straight up, you can see that the bunker portion is completely, actually just pull up in the top here, you can actually see it right up here. You see how these roof tiles are completely overlapping? Yeah, not only on this tile and all these other ones, but like the main chute. So it works. That's beautiful. Okay, what we can do now is, if you somehow don't have elevated foundations like this to place these in here, that's okay. This back corner can be used for furnaces. I know, you will have half the production, but hey, it's better than nothing. You can place this wall frame back here and then put like a roller boy on there if you'd like to. Nice. You don't technically need to upgrade these because they're not on the exterior. These back walls are looking good. Let's see. Let's pull back. Let's get the exterior done here. Okay, so let's get these weird cages on the outside, and then we'll finish up the honeycomb, and then we're pretty close to done. All right, again, you can go through level 1 workbench to get all these bad boys. Really, you're going to need both of these. If you don't have them, just use the wood stuff so people don't shoot you in the back. But the way this works is, if the fence is double layered, people can't shoot you. They can, and you can see out of it. So the idea here is, there will be a... Now, you can't take these out once you place them, so just remember that. And then you have this interior piece that's going to be this. You have it open away from you. And that way people can see you, but they can't shoot you because that's 2 fences. But you can shoot anybody below you. Hot. Same idea here. Just remember, it's only the fence doorway that can be picked up again if there's no lock on it. Sorry. And then we'll place this and have it open towards. It's just a nice way to do whatever, you know? Put another one out here. Just gives you nice little peek outs on anybody trying to skis on you. And I wouldn't worry too much about this back wall. I know it'll complete like this, but again, your top is more of like a cap just to keep people off your Ds. Oh, hey, girl. We messed up, eh? Well, another reason why you like this wood, right? So at least you could chop this out. Kind of forgot about that. Well, I guess that's good, right? And honestly, you can make this wall wood if you really want to. Because it's this whole top is just to kind of be temporary or whatever. So it was good we messed that up, eh? Eh? I had that for a second. I had it for a second. Where are you? Oh my goodness. Your roof tiles hate my guts. We're doing it that way. We're doing it live. Okay, back down here. Back to stone, regular fence, clop, clop, and then we should be able to delete this. We have a frame in here. No, we don't. Let's place one. What do you think, guys? Am I moving too fast? Is this okay so far? Is it making sense? These cost 75 a pop, so this can be quite expensive. Again, placing wood tiles is going to kind of save your cheeks for a little bit. And then if you're rich enough, or you get one, you can place your berry table or your mixing table right there. Put another sleeping bag up top. Whatever you want to do. More furnaces, although I'd probably make these stone at that point instead of wood. And we make sure we have everything down here. That's all good. We're getting pretty close. Okay, so now where you see the twig is at, this is where we're going to add the extra honeycomb pieces. And then the base is fairly well protected. Remember, it's about 1,600 a pop. Can we place these on each section? That would make it so much easier. Yep. We only need to go 2 up, so 2 complete foundations up. Oh, that's why. Yeah, because remember, this is the foundation. We're hiding the foundation, but we're also adding honeycomb, so it's good that we're doing it this way. Here we go. So it's nice. You should be able to do these in like bite-sized chunks. So, because you know, you're not always going to get like 5k stone or 10k stone on a run. Sometimes you're fighting for every piece of stone that you have. So remember, you can always use the water to go to different areas to farm. Like use a boat. It's our best mode of transportation right now. Desert areas, hill areas, snow biomes are definitely good for stone. And hey, like even if you don't want some of the farm, like let's say you're not trying to get sulfur, farm the sulfur nodes. It keeps people, or it keeps the nodes respawning. And hey, if we had minis, we'd just use minis to farm it up. There you go. That's looking good. We're doing one for each layer and the interior. These are important to upgrade too, because again, this is like your main loot room. If you're really rich, you can always come out here and upgrade these to metal, but only do that at the very end when you've got the upkeep and you have an abundance of metal, like you're overflowing and you can't store it. Because again, even if you have the metal, sometimes after the upgrade, you're like, oh, we're like down to no metal, and it's like, yeah, now look at your upkeep. It's stupid expensive. And we're almost there. get this back piece. And yeah, this can be adapted to a lot of different things. You can make a lot of different changes. You can add some farming growth stuff on the top. But I just want to make this as tight as possible in a modular fashion so people could use it. But this is like Beef City. And if you're that rich, you can make a couple of these bad boys. It's not like you got to be limited to just one. Do we get it? Is it this one? I think we're good. Okay, so let's go and double check everything. I think we got everything. Let's go ahead and check the main entrance and see how all these bad boys work. And again, you don't need to place any of these until you have the materials. You can even place a door frame here and a furnace if you don't have a ladder. But you can see just how great these are for, like, you can check the little crevasses. Heck, you can jump out on the top of your little, whoops, if I'm good at jumping and I'm not. You can jump up here to hit the top of your roof tile. Like I said, I'm bad at jumping. You can jump out here. You've got this other door. You can change this to a roller boy, and then you can use this for a jump up to add a tower if you need to have roof access. This way it gives you multiple points to enter the base, to check the base, but also to exit the base. That's a big deal. Then on the top here, we'll go ahead and seal this bad boy. And again, what I like about this is the multi-layered, but you can make these different sides, different materials, because I don't know about you, but I don't always have a ton of high quality that's laying around, because it's not only what you upgrade, it's what you're going to need for the upkeep. So like right here, this would dictate what that one side is going to be. Oh, I had it just for a second. So right there. So we can make that metal, and then to upgrade this, you would just stand under here and make that metal. And then if you had the money, you could go over here. You probably have to jump up, make that high quality, and then you'd make this high quality. And then you have a mixture of both of these roof tiles. High quality, and then metal. Is that wild? And then if you destroy this, everything opens back up. Now, what I like to do over here, just real fast, this is really good for a shelf here, as we saw in the first setup. You can place the double walls here, and it makes it good for the jump up, to be perfectly honest. And it doesn't really get in the way too bad. Like you've got this back here. Kind of helps you like reach everything. Oh my goodness, I'm bad at jumping. I guess these could be wood too, but anyways. And so since your main apparatus is going to be up here, like this side shelf over here is really nice to jump up into. Close that. Oh, there we go. I was like, server crash, eh? But here you can use this to kind of like, somebody can work under here, and then because your main mechanism is actually going to sit right there. And it just makes it easier to place the tiles as well, like this. So, you know, I like to keep it like that. Just make sure you don't ever upgrade this. It should be high enough and out of the way enough that it's not too bad. But I like to leave this as twig because maybe you don't want to have it there all the time. And then you can even have boxes back here. That is the Detour multi-layered bunker base made for small teams, duos, trios, and up. And you can create a bunch of these if you need to store off a bunch of loot. But this is a great way to stack a lot of your loot and keep it high value loot in a very protected space.